That's who I am. I'm giving on God.
Hey, Franny, don't you need to ask me something?
What?
My favorite part is that there are so many times where I can't genuinely showcase the fact that clearly, like, to anybody that would be watching that, you
Paint a
always
pamphlet.
know we are live, but you ask anyway.
Oh,
And
are
when
we
you do
live?
things like this, I get to finally see, here's how. He absolutely is aware.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Embers by Daybreak, brought to you by Natural One RPG. We took last week off because there was a lot to write about, and I needed the extra week. I'm sure everybody here can attest to that. We went through some major changes. Some things were different.
Every now and then I'm playing D&D game and then keep going.
But anyways,
Okay.
Jade will be joining us shortly. Of course, his
Character died, so he's a little upset right now.
Right.
Yeah, his character died. No one else's did.
Yep.
No
Last
one
session.
else is dead. What
Yeah,
days?
no one else's did.
Right. But anyways, where we last left off on Embers by Daybreak, David died. Now you're caught up
That's
to
it. Woo!
Embers by Daybreak.
This has been Embers by Day.
Signing off.
But no, in reality, after the explosion by Henry Turncott aboard the deck of the Ember, the performers, at least three of them, were caught in the blast. David, Petrichor, and trying not to burp. And I do this.
Oh, what you get for drinking pop?
Right? All three of it. And Terry were all caught in this blast and were told to distribute 25 hit points amongst themselves.
What if I pretended like this was a normal sized water bottle, but I was just like the size of Shaq?
See, you need to be saving that for when Franny tries to start the show. That's gold. That's grade A starting material.
Up until Franny can save away all the doubloons and get a nice computer that he can stream off of, I'm always the one running the show one way or another.
Yes. But yeah, after the explosion, Nephra managed.
I've got about a year and a half.
About until I'm earn enough. Nephra from the mess hall saw several pillars of sea foam arising from the water below and kind of coalescing on top of the deck, which forced him to bring Nina with him to the top deck into potential danger.
Come with me to danger.
That's the word.
Stay with me on there. Maybe not too close to me.
Just around that area.
Just be within eyesight.
Yeah.
In my general direction.
Never mind. Run away.
Run away really
Find
fast.
anywhere safe.
I think that's actually a line he said. But
Yep.
after that, a battle ensued where they found out the same sea foam undead creatures that they have fought last on the light iron have now invaded the actual Ember. A battle ensued, and
no
during
one
the
died.
battle, unfortunately, one person died. David was struck down by the swing of a decrepit obsidian axe by what looked to be the most well-armed of these creatures. And
Who's arming the undead?
We must stop them.
Who knows? The government pushed the 9/11.
Oh my god, it's the
Anyway.
reptilians.
Anyways,
Watch
as
V
these-
Wednesdays on ABC.
Right. And as that happened, David unfortunately perished.
Oh man, it looks like Dylan is drinking a blue ponder.
Right. However,
Hey.
with that said, with Captain Brand, Petrichor, Terry, and Nephra all around him, Nephra holding his face, David's eyes fluttered open, which puts us in the awkward position of David now looking at Nephra. On the deck of this ship, as several people are gathering the dead and or dying from around them, the seafoam creatures all being taken care of.
You're right, Captain.
We should be playing Stardew Valley.
Yes. That'll bring him back.
Yeah, Stardew.
There's only one way to bring him back.
Stardew.
My God.
We must play Stardew Valley.
But yes.
Sorry.
As Nephra, you're holding David's face.
Mhm.
Is there anything you're thinking of right now? You already know what's going
Well-
on in your head.
Well, as I learned last time from detecting undead, I know that David is now undead, despite seemingly being alive. So,
The undead will do that.
yeah, they have this nasty habit. So I am not saying anything. I am just completely stock still, holding David's face in my hands and just like intently staring at him.
You see David look at you, his eyes, having been glossed over before, now slowly focusing on you. And you see him begin to open his mouth to say something. And as he begins to say something, you feel a hand grab your scruff, Nephra, and pull you back with a strong force. And as you look up, you see Captain Bran actually grabbing you. As he looks over his shoulder, you two, grab him right now! And you see two of the ship hands who were previously helping some of the wounded get up, go over to David and kind of pull him up. As Nephra, you're now being... You feel a arm around you as the captain's now holding you. And she says to the two who are now grabbing David, who is kind of hanging off them, take him to the brig. No one is allowed to see him until I give him permission. The two ship hands look very confused. Like, yes, Captain, as they both take him down below deck. And she continues to hold you. As you all kind of just stand there on the deck. Injured, hurting, more ways than one. Get some rest. She pats Nephra. She pats you on the chest real quick. Kind of leans on the bed. And you hear whispered in your ear, I will take care of this. You need not worry yourself. As she walks away, heading towards where they start taking David.
Is she gonna kill him? Does she not? I don't know what's happening. I need to go for a swim, but the water seems poison.
Go swimming in the... Yeah, go swimming in the goop.
No, thank you.
Oh, let me go swim in the seawater with all my open wounds.
I'm
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
It impels us.
But is there anything you or Petrichor, you or Nephra do?
Yeah. I'll try to like chase after the captain a little bit, but probably just be stopped. Just like, oh, Nephra, what do we do?
What's happening?
Nephra this whole time has been staring. So like he got pulled back, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And then they took David away, but he never stopped looking at the exact place where David was sitting.
Okay.
Okay.
He is still like completely looking forward, unblinking.
Yeah.
And then when Petrichor asks him, "What do we do?" he turns to look at you.
Uh-huh.
Something's wrong. His eyes
Okay.
are not the white, the complete white that they usually are.
Mhm.
One is blue,
Mhm.
completely blue, and the other is kind of like a dark offset purple, and it's like fluctuating. Like he's having a hard time controlling his like thaumaturgy to change the eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
And he turns and looks at you and just says,
Okay.
and then looks
Okay.
away. And then he looks back and he says, "Does that make any sense to you? Do you understand?"
of got a little turned around there, pal. We're just gonna Stan. I'm facing him now. Okay,
What
we're
do
gonna
you mean? What are you talking
just
about?
look at me. Dude, look at
Uh-huh.
me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we take our finger. We're gonna touch our nose. Got it?
Oh, okay.
Can you do that? You got it?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Other hand.
Okay.
Got it. Hands on our horns. Hands on your horns.
Yeah.
Touch your toes.
It seems really weird.
It's alright.
By the way, every time you two move, it just hurts.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's just like.
Why are you making me touch my toes? And his eyes, like,
Uh-huh.
his eyes are slowly focusing back to the regular eyes that they're supposed to be.
How many fingers am I holding up?
You're holding up 4 fingers.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
I
Alright.
can see. I'm not blind. I'm just.
No, I know that. I know
I'm just
that.
really freaked out right now. That's all.
I know. Just bring you back to the present.
I've been
Focus on
bamboozled.
what's going on. We got this. We're okay now. For now. Okay. How about we find Nina? Let's go see what she's up to. And then
I
Yep,
agree. Let's do that.
let's go do that. Yeah. Sure, let's go do that. Yeah.
All right, and that as the conversation ends,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is as if the camera pans upwards towards the sky.
Okay.
Since the attack and the assault, several things have changed. At this current moment, from this point on, it has been 6 days since the assault. You guys can go ahead and take a long rest as you take a
Oh
rest.
yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, that's right. That reminded me of something. Nothing
Yes.
important. Don't worry about it.
Yes. During these 6 days, Captain Brand has restricted anybody from going to see Dave in the brig. The only people allowed to go there are herself and Dr. Reich. Nobody is to be taken there, and although the situation that would have occurred if someone were to need to go to the and then all of a sudden not be told to go to hasn't come up yet, might happen. It proves to be a curiosity that might occur. But regardless, the area is strictly off limits, and she has people posted there 24/7. On top of that, speaking of Dr. Rykov,
Yeah,
The
what
man-
about Doctor? I'm kidding.
the man has essentially turned into a recluse. Besides going to see David, or what's left of David, Dr. Rykov has sealed himself away in his room during these last few days, not taking any visitation. Anybody who comes with a problem has been turned away, usually through shouts through the door.
Ah,
Y'all are dying. Go away.
Get out of here!
yeah, right.
Smash the bottle against the door.
That
Tamith
doesn't know.
has done their best to bring food over to the doctor and just leave outside it. But even now, Petrichor, especially, you see this. You see that it's starting to get to her in a way. This behavior, as you see, she constantly looks worried, and mistakes have started showing up in her job or in her duties. Some things here and there, as if she was distracted. Can't say that because Terry's not here yet. Mhm.
Where are you?
After the assault as well, Calvin has kind
Oh.
of defaulted to
Forgot
staying.
about him.
Who? Sorry.
Calvin.
Calvin.
Oh.
Little kid.
Yep.
Yeah,
Calvin
yeah.
has defaulted to staying with one of the three of you. Yeah, at all times since the assault. Some days you'll stay with Nephra for a long period of time. Some days you'll be with Petrichor, but you'll never be without one of you. Despite your best efforts to make him go talk to other people. But probably two of the biggest things that came about from the assault is the first being the knowledge of the violet catalyst, the disease that seemed to have caused Henry to explode in such a manner, has now become public. As it's kind of hard to hide the fact that someone exploded on board deck of the ship, into violet blood everywhere. It had to be addressed, and Captain Brand had a meeting with everybody, with the crew, explaining what they think it is and what they know so far. It also doesn't help that other ships have started sending reports of similar instances happening on them throughout the refugee armada. It happens sparingly, one or two a few days after, and then they just keep coming in more and more as messengers come in, some of which say that the ship had to be abandoned because of. And on top of that, two more people on the ship itself, on the Amber, have been found to have the disease
Yeah.
and have been quarantined at the moment. One is a tiefling man by the name of Saffron, and the other is a halfling lad by the name of Elias Jollybelly. They are kind of restrained to the lowest depth of the ship, the storage area, in the area that used to be Quillis and Nina's kind of workstation. Since then, Quillis has made her room the actual location where she works out of now, despite it being smaller than what she previously had. The second thing is that the captain was eventually forced to disclose the fact of Silent's assumed demise to the rest of the ship. She said it at the end of telling everybody what the disease was, feeling that it was now sufficient enough time to say that Silent had met his end on a undisclosed mission to garner supplies for the crew of the. Because of that, the next day they will hold a memorial ceremony for those they lost during the assault and for the fallen first. Above all, morale's not the greatest on the Ember, as some people have gone to be to become more irritated, less friendly in general on there, or just constantly having a sad expression on their faces now. Ursha has done her best to make feed everybody and try to get them happier through their stomachs, but food can only go so far. Right now, everybody's at an all-time slump.
How dare you not finish this?
You?
I had Dear Maria ready on cue.
I feel cheated. Start the session over.
But yeah.
God, how
So
could you make me
regardless.
feel so weightless?
Mm-hmm. During these 6 days, Petrichor and Nephra, since you two are right here, is there anything you would have done during those days?
Probably, I don't know about Nephra, but probably spend a good chunk of time alone or with just chilling with Calvin alone. Just to kind of absorb what's happening. You know, probably talk to Nephra a few times. Be like, oh, what are they doing to David? Is he alive? We don't know. The fuck?
How difficult is it to break into the brig? Or to at least sneak in without anyone noticing?
Make me a intelligence check.
That is gonna be the Intelligence. Soft 20.
Soft 20, you would know that it is extremely difficult to do so right now. Not only does Bran visit almost every hour, but the guards she posts are always rotating in a timely fashion.
Nefra, you understand? We can't go against Captain orders and go try to see David. Are you kidding me? I can't do that. You'll have to go alone. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't not follow Captain's orders.
He's our friend.
I know.
And
I
this
can't.
is really important. I can't stress this enough. I need to see him.
I know.
I don't know if he's in a mood to talk. I don't know if I'm in the mood to talk. My
I
God.
don't think any of us are in the mood to talk. I don't think 3 more weeks of sleeping or recovering will be in the mood to talk. You don't understand. I can't not follow Captain's orders. I have to.
You know he shouldn't be alive, right?
I spent a lot of time thinking about that. Things aren't adding up, and I understand where you're coming from. Probably not in the whole, you know more about death and the undead than little old me, but I just understand
Little
something.
me.
Little old me, yeehaw.
You know I'm not supposed to let him be alive, right?
I had a feeling. Yeah, I had a feeling that this is very against your morals as well. So, we're both kind of stuck in a rut or a rock in a hard place. What's the word? I don't know.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My hair just goes poof. It turned into like a little puffball.
I've never been in this situation where it didn't end a certain way. I'm scared for him. You know, I don't know what's going
We
to
don't know
happen to him. What
we
he
don't know
might
what the
do.
captain's doing. We don't know what Rykov's doing. Are they trying to help him? They're trying to hurt him.
I don't know. We need to find out. We have to find out somehow. If we can't break in, then we can. There's people on the ship that have to be willing to talk. They must be willing to share information. Somebody that we can reason with.
Maybe like we could see who's on guard that day and see if they've seen or heard anything. Or see, like, talk to anybody who's been any of the guards and see if they've seen or heard or figured out or assumed anything about what's been going on behind that.
We'll have to start there. There's not much else that we can do.
No, not without going against orders. I don't want to start there yet. I don't want to have both of us kind of go against immortals here. But, yeah. So, is there any way we can kind of go and check and not directly look for who is taking guard, but maybe like see who the last 2 guards come up at the hour or whenever they change, or kind of realizing that there's a pattern?
There is a pattern. Several people, several of the same faces go in several times because most of the time it's just people who are on watch. In the majority are just been restricted to doing their. However, do you guys try and make contact with them, or are you just seeing who's there?
Maybe do you want to see who's there and then address them at a better point than like,
Yeah,
hey.
probably approach them away from
Yeah.
being on duty.
Yeah.
Well, you do eventually find that the most susceptible person would be this dwarven man by the name of. Oh wow, that sounds Cyril.
Cyril.
Mm-hmm.
Cyril. Okay, go talk to Cereal.
Yeah. Who you find eating?
I love this
eating,
podcast.
Who you find eating alone in the mess hall, kind of just looking downcast. And as you approach, he looks up. Oh, morning, morning. As he just sticks
Hello.
his spoon down in the
Cereal.
porridge. You two never talked to me. Can I help you?
Well,
The cool kids talking to me.
I mean, we just trying to get to know some more people around. There's just a lot of. Sure, you feel the same way. You look the same way. We're just kind of trying to.
What's that supposed to mean?
You see bags underneath his eyes. You know the Cyril usually takes a night, but he's been kind of forced to do someone of the morning shift as well.
Mm,
It is him just getting off the shift.
yeah. Yeah, we're all kind of just feeling run down. Maybe talking to a stranger will perk us up, or
Can you sure not
something.
here because of what we have in the brig?
No. I mean, no. Right,
It's-
Nephra?
You're doing a good thing. I just want to say that I appreciate what you're doing.
It doesn't feel like it sometimes. We're not told anything, and you're not the first ones to ask. Everybody on the ship is curious. They all saw David being taken in the brig, and now there's sudden enforcement to keep everybody out. What's with that?
Your guess is as good as ours right now, Cyril. Your guess is probably better than ours, honestly. We can't be down there to hear anything. So we're just up here assuming.
I mean, it's that if when we found out that Saffron and Elias has that both of them have the what do you call it again? What is it?
Fins.
Violet catalyst.
Oh,
The purple stuff, yeah.
yeah. Once we found out they had it, now more people are worried about going down to get things out of storage, and now we have to put guards down there too, so that they don't constitute any harm.
You guys are just sworn thin, aren't you?
Yeah, it's
Sorry to hear that.
not a good couple of days.
You do seem pretty tired, actually. Not to comment on your appearance or anything, because I mean, look at me. But like, you do seem a little worn out. Have you been able to sleep at all?
Yeah, and sparingly. I'm not used to sleeping during. I'm just
You're
too
off
many
for
things
off.
in my mind. Yeah. But I do what the captain tells me. We all do, right?
Understandably so, yes, sir.
And I don't know why she told us not to tell you guys anything.
I don't know.
If I knew anything, I would, but I got nothing.
Yeah.
Captain's keeping this close to her chest.
I figured as much. She seemed, quite alarmed at the whole situation. No wonder she is trying to keep probably the more serious things closer to hand, and well, whatever's more serious, violent catalyst or Lord knows what.
Hopefully we get answers soon.
Agree, and then you guys can go back to your regular schedule.
Yeah. It's a ship. It's starting to get to all of us. We're losing too many people. Not to be rude or anything, but I think I would like to be alone for a little bit, if you don't mind me.
Sure, understandable. Have a good rest of your food.
Thank you. Thanks, Petricor. And Tiefling boy. I actually don't know your name. What's your name?
Nefra.
Right. You see him just look down and start eating his porridge. So that's it. Is there anything else you guys like to do?
Mm,
I'd like to find
Oh.
Quillis.
yeah.
Did you have something?
Go do that.
Sure.
I'll probably go talk to Temp at some point, so.
Okay.
Alright. And Nefri goes to talk to Quillith, and Petricor goes to talk to
Temp.
Petricor. You find Tamith easily enough. She's on the deck. Actually, as you walk up towards the deck, you walk past the doctor's doctor's quarters, and you see a wooden tray next to the door filled with a bowl of porridge and some water. So as you go up, you see Tamith trying to tie a knot that you know she's done plenty of times, but you see her taking longer with it, looking at it, doubting herself, and then restarting it again. She doesn't see you approach, though.
Tamith?
Oh, hey, Petri.
Hey. How you holding up there?
I'm great. Yeah.
No, Tamith.
No, I'm not great.
I know. I just witnessed with the simple sailors, not Tamith. You have to understand. I'm sure the doctor really appreciates that you're still caring for him, bringing him down food. He's doing the best he can, and you know he's a doctor. He'll make sure he's watching himself.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess I'm starting to feel it too. You know, we've always been able to just keep our spirits high and just just wait till the next day, and then the next day we could find Soliska or some other place. But now, after everything that's happened, I don't know.
It would be impossible to ask you to have your spirits high at all times. You have to. It's the only thing we can count on right now is that the sun's gonna show up. So, take your day in stride, Tamith. Focus on the task at hand, and whatever happens with David and the captain and the doctor, it happens. It's life. Yeah. I know, and it's really important that you're such a caring person, and everybody knows this, and you're doing a great job, Tamith. Just take a deep breath sometimes, and just gotta restart. Just restart the knot like you just did.
You're right, Petri. Yeah. No, you're right. I shouldn't think about that. You're right, as always, And she kind of starts tying the knot again. You see her hands shaking a little, and then they kind of stop for a minute, and then she resumes again with practice motion.
Hey, Tamith. So when my nerves get shaken, this is kind of a monk thing, but I feel it's one of those applicable things for everybody. It's called timed breathing. So you kind of breathe in for 8 seconds, you hold it for 8 seconds, and you exhale for 8 seconds. So if you feel your nerves start to get a little rattled, try it out a few times, and go back to it.
Yeah. Let me try that. So you see her take a deep breath in, maybe a little bit too deep.
That's right.
She kind of exhales
Beautiful.
a bit too forcefully.
It's right.
The third
It's the
time,
intention. It's the intention that counts.
yeah, the third time she breathes in, she stops, looks at you, and then she begins to sob.
It's all right.
Yeah, her eyes start closing, and she just holds you.
Mm-hmm.
As she weeps quietly into your shoulder. Nephra,
It's all right.
you find Quillith in her room. And the door's open. She's hard at work, leaning over the desk she has in there. The room is pretty simple. There is a chest, there is a bed, and there is a desk that almost takes up the majority of the space there. It's meant for cartographers, so it's meant to take up a lot of space. You see her standing there alone, looking over this parchment with several what looks to be crisscrossing lines, sort of points here and there. Uh, and she's looking intently at it with a quill and ink stained fingers, um, or a quill in ink stained fingers, just waiting to write stuff down. What do you need? I'm busy. As she just looks down, as if knowing that you're at the door.
I don't say anything. I just close the door behind me.
She
Is there a
stops.
lock on the door?
There is. There's
I
a
lock it.
latch. She stops. Puts the quill down. Turns around. Listen, I told you. And she stops once she notices it's you. Nephra, what are you doing here?
Who did you think I was? Who are you really talking to just now?
She looks to the side, away from you for a little bit, and then back to you. Is anybody in the ship? People have been asking me questions.
That's probably been really stressful, having everyone come for you like that.
I don't mind it. It's been like that the entire voyage. Why'd you close the door?
I don't want anyone to barge in, especially Nina.
I sent Nina to her quarters to get some rest. She's been working hard, as I know you know. What do you want, Nephra?
Something's wrong with me. I know you and I aren't exactly friends, you know, or pals or anything like that. We tolerate each other, and we get by, but David's gone, and Dr. Rokov is distant. Um, and I can't burden Nina with this, so I'm running out of options. You care about her, right? You want to keep her safe? Make sure all of this, everything that's been happening, none of it happens to her. You care about her, don't you?
Yes. As much as a master could an apprentice, yeah. So you're saying that after all the people you just stated, I'm your next choice?
I have somehow made other friends. And they're all trying to deal with this in their own way. But I don't know if they'll fully agree with. It's really hard to explain. I'm sorry. I must sound ridiculous right now, but I something's wrong with me, and I think it's because of what I, for a long time, have felt that I need to do. And I know how vague this sounds, but if I do what I am supposed to do, maybe the things that are wrong with me will go away, but there's also the chance that maybe they'll keep going or get even worse. I, uh, can I listen to make sure absolutely no one is listening in on the other side? Is there any way for me to perceive that?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay, that's gonna be 14.
14. You don't hear any footsteps outside the door. And you know that the two rooms that are next to Quillis are Ursa's and Silent. Silent's room is currently destroyed because it was pretty much right underneath the hole that Henry had blasted. So there's nobody there. And Ursa is always in the kitchen during this time, as it is around breakfast time. So you good chance nobody's there.
Is there any place for me to sit, like the bed or like a chair, anything
There is
like
the
that?
bet.
Nefer's gonna slowly sit down on the bed, and he's going to say, "I've been having these weird tics lately. Um, sometimes when I speak, I can't control whether I'm speaking in common or if I'm speaking in infernal, and the others haven't made too much mention of it, but I noticed it in the mirror. It seems like I can't control the color of my eyes the way I used to. Sometimes I'll get anxious or nervous, and they'll change without me controlling them. Um, I think it's because I feel this need to carry out my mission, the thing that has been charged upon me to do. I I guess I need your help in knowing if there's any way to break an oath if it was forced upon you. To not do something that you've been forced to do and still live.
You see,
I don't know if you in your age, if you've had experience with things like this. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but I assume you've done a lot of traveling, and I feel so very lost even though I haven't moved very far.
You see Quilith stand there, arms crossed, looking down at you. The bed is directly across from where the desk. There's a very slim area. Thankfully, there was enough room for you to sit down. But she looks down at you, with her back to the desk and you in front of her. So, listen, I have no clue what's going on with you. And what you're asking me is something I wish I knew, to be honest. But he did come for me for he did come to me for, so I will respect that. and try to help you out. You see her get off the desk and sit down next to you. So these ticks, they happened after the assault, right?
Yes.
What is this thing you're supposed to do?
I have to rid the world of the undead in all of their forms, and however they may exist. I have to remove them from this plane of existence. I need to shepherd them on to their next life, and I do not need to do it kindly or gently, though I try to. And I have to do it because the thing that gave me this, and he sort of moves the glaive slightly,
Right into your coffin.
forced me into this and threatened me with a horrible fate if I did not comply.
So you were coerced into this pact of sorts, this contract?
There was no writing. I didn't sign anything, but I dug a really large grave. And I didn't say no. When this was handed to me, I was too scared. I couldn't stand up for myself.
I think I have a better understanding of what your problem. Now I think I can help you. This is something that you have to do. She kind of just taps you on the chest. It's only so much other people can do for you. And that's something I found out myself. I haven't told anybody else this. And if I tell you this, you have to swear to me you're going to keep it a secret, Nefa. Do you have that? Yes? Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
I am sick in a way. I have to take medicine every so often to stop this illness from progressing. It's not this violet catalyst everybody has. It's something that predates the catalysm. So I am fully aware of what happens or what it means to rely on others for help. So I am perfectly capable of seeing things that would not require that. This is one of those things. In the end, you have to find whatever entity or force or whatever thing that you had to be coerced by and tell them you're not having it. You didn't sign anything, you didn't agree to anything. They told you to do something and you. It means that they don't have too much power over you, which means you can still voice your opinion. Take it from me. Unless you overtly sign something or have a genuine contract, they don't have much power. It's when you sign the contract that things get a bit more complicated. I can definitely attest to you about that. But
I don't think this thing would be bound by any contract.
well, everything has rules. It's just a matter of you finding out what those rules are and using them to your advantage. Now, no matter whatever this creature is, it can hold infinite power. If it did, it wouldn't need you. Now, would think about it. There's a reason why it chose you. And you just gotta find that reason and exploit it. Does this relate to those nightmares you've been getting that Nina keeps telling me about? She won't shut up about it.
Yes. She's worried about me.
And quite so. Um, you're constantly the topic of conversations with me, much to my annoyance. But hey, here we are. Don't tell her I said that because I would like her to keep on liking me to stay on as my apprentice. So that's another thing you can say. All right.
I thought I was full of secrets.
Yeah. Well, you never talk to me. You see what you've been missing this entire time?
Secrets.
Got loads of them.
Anyways, if you're having, I can't help you with this creature you have, but I believe you. I believe you have a problem. I believe you can solve it. As for the dreams, I can at least help you with. Give me one second. She kind of goes to her chest and opens it up, reaches in. Oh, right. Then you see her close her chest and actually move underneath the pillow. Raise. There it is. She grabs something underneath it and kind of holds it up, and you see it's this circular charm with several lines, kind of tied around this ring. Um, that is the main body. The twine kind of goes around and keeps going around until it makes a sort of web in the middle. And on the bottom, there is a small little charm of what looks to be a siren. I just kind of hanging off. This is a loner, so it's not yours, Nephra. I'm going to need it back, but for the time being, I'm letting you borrow. Do you know what borrow means? As she looks at you, the hint of a smile on her face.
Nephra's pupils turn red.
I'll take that as a yes. This will help you at least get some sleep. From where I'm from, that'll help you. It's a little charm. Doesn't really have a name to it, but call it whatever you like. It just helps sleep. So, use that, put it underneath your pillow, get some rest. Maybe you won't wake up screaming. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I think I can hear you from. And with that said, I have work to do. So I do need to kick you out, unfortunately. But, Nephra, look at me. Oh, stop doing that with your. Right, you can't stop doing that with your eyes.
Switches them back to white.
Oh. There we go. If you ever need to talk, don't be afraid to come to me. I may be a bit snarky, but now I'm worried about you. And look what you've done to me. So this is on you.
Oh, two people.
Session's over, guys.
He's been kidnapped. No, Ernie.
Oh my god, there's a person. Oh, there's two people. Ah, they stole it.
No, not really. It's preferred, but okay, I'll let you do it.
Preferred. Safety first.
Well, yes. So Nephro, you were given the charm. By the way, this is the day before the whole memorial ceremony is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, the rest of the day goes by.
Before he leaves Quill's room, as he stands up and goes to leave out the door, he just says, and you won't tell any of this to Nina at all?
As long as you don't tell her what I told you. That whole thing about the medicine, she doesn't know the full details. So,
Thank you. And Nephra appreciates that too. and he's gonna open the door and walk.
Fucking creepy kid. But yes, so the rest of the day goes by uneventfully. It's towards the night. Petrogor, I'm assuming you're doing your regular night routines.
I really haven't been doing that lately. Just kind of been looking out at the sea instead of punching.
Okay.
Punching
Still
the sea.
in. Yeah,
Are you
instead of punching the sea.
on? Are you on?
I'm at the
Poop
top
deck?
deck where I usually am. No, I'm
Yeah.
not on the poop deck. I'm at the
Damn.
top deck.
Okay. So are you towards the bow then?
I think so, yeah.
The front of the ship, just looking out.
Yeah. I think last time I sat there with David and there was a bench or something, or like there was somewhere to sit.
There was
It
kind
was
of
at the
a
stern.
yeah, it was at the stern, and
Oh.
there was a little wooden flat surface that you guys could have sat on. And a lot of people do use to sit on. But towards the bow, you just have the railings and a couple of crates.
Okay, I'll just lean against it.
Okay. As you look out at the numerous stars that adorn the sky, that you know are a lot of which are unfamiliar, you hear a voice next to you. One you're very familiar. Quiet night, isn't it? You hear the voice of Captain Brand right next to you, hitting you with her tail.
Captain,
How
Oh my.
roll yourself.
Sticking your ass right in my face.
Oh,
Bear!
What will the neighbors think?
But the captain is
Have you
standing.
no shame?
The captain is standing to your right, hands behind her back,
Yeah.
looking out.
Yeah. Yes, Captain. Quiet night indeed.
How are you holding up, Petra?
We're still here. That's the best I can do.
Petra,
Not doing too well, Captain.
let's see.
No, nobody's doing well. Tamith broke down while trying to do a simple sailor's knot. I haven't practiced in 6 days. Yeah, ship morale is at an all-time low.
It is, isn't it?
As the funeral band begins singing, I've
Ding.
got your picture. I'm coming with you.
Oh, I thought we'd be playing Welcome to the Black Parade.
Well, no, you already said all-time low, so.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, the trigger
There we go. But she stands there, looking out with you, not turning to look at you, just looking out with you. I suppose you're right.
How are things in your neck of the woods?
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about the violet catalyst. As
Yeah.
we said, morale is plummeted. And we lost our first mate. Officially now.
Yeah. I hope we do a good service for him tomorrow.
We'll do our best, as we've always done.
Aye.
For him and the 7 others that perished.
7. Didn't know the number. Everyone just kind of assume numbers here and there.
Henry, Charlize, Florian, Cordell, Elma, Dolak, Woody.
There's a name on there. name that isn't on there that I'm surprised isn't on there. Do you understand what I'm trying to convey?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something I need to ask you, Petrichor.
Of course, Captain.
Tomorrow in the memorial service, everybody's spirits will be terrible. Is the best word I can think of right now. The funerals typically do that. No matter what we say, no matter what we do, they will always be the lowest point for everybody.
It'll be difficult.
They will.
Absolutely.
Which is why we need to give them something to latch on. We need them to garner hope in this hopeless situation. Which is why tomorrow I'm naming you first mate.
1 second, I have to kill a spider.
It would be funny if like she's just like, 1 second.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
what we call it. He's become a recluse.
Like, 1
Violently
second.
vomits over the side of the boat.
Acid damage.
I'm resistant to acid damage. Thank you very much. Captain, I'm honored. I don't know what to say. This is a shock, I had to say the least. What about the others? What about the group you're in? What? Sorry, I have a lot of questions, and I know they'll be answered soon enough. But this is
Regarding
a lot.
the other officers, why they didn't receive the promotion, there are several reasons. We'll start with Dr. Rykov, the most obvious. He's been, despite what he's doing, helping with me, with the situation that we previously mentioned, he has been neglecting his other duties. Frankly, I have real concern that I might need to demote him, which is something I would not like to do since he's really the only person who has training on this ship.
Oh, I mean, he would still be able to be a doctor, correct? Just not a named officer. Or is that the whole package? It's been a while. Titles and doctors.
At this point, we don't know.
Okay.
It's too soon to say, and I don't know if he's going to recover from what he's imposing on himself. Tamith
Good to know.
is fantastic at her job.
She is.
She does her tasks well, and she is loyal, from what you've all told me.
Through and through.
But she lacks something that the others have. The ability to lead. When it comes to her chosen profession, she's a master at it and can direct anybody to do whatever she needs.
Absolutely.
Anything outside of that, unfortunately, is not. First, he needs to be able to command in separate locations. Be able to pick up the slack in those locations as well. Ursa is someone who can cook, and I already asked her. She flat out
Oh, that Ursa.
Let you know that you still are, in fact, the second.
But sir, yeah. Just to let you know, you weren't first choice.
Just in case it wasn't clear.
And I wouldn't dare ask Quillith, as she's the one who
No.
knows now.
I
At
mean,
least.
like you just put it, everyone is extremely busy in their field, and it does make sense to grab someone that doesn't have any previous current officer duties. I'm more concerned, of course, of the other officers and the rest of the crew, but specifically my friends. What's gonna happen with the task you assigned us to?
She kind of stops talking and keeps looking out at the faded horizon that is. She stays like that for a little bit, just watching. You can't see any expression, of course, through her mask. And after a while, she says, "The task is still ongoing. Despite everything, just means now you will have the benefits of being an officer. And now we won't have to explain away all these that I keep saying.
Understandable.
Now it's just
Works out best
First-
for all of us.
now it's just the first mate and her apprentices going off to do what they need to do."
Understandable, Captain.
That said, I know there's a big thing I'm asking you to do, Petrichor. And I'll be wrong to say, I'll be wrong to throw this upon you without giving you the choice. Just know you're the best qualified on the ship at the moment. If not you,
Understandable.
it would. If not you, it would have been Ulrich Belser. Unfortunately, he's currently in the brig for.
That's right.
You're proving your loyalty. You're one of the few people I know I can trust, which is why you're getting this honor.
I truly appreciate it, Captain. It's the highest honor. I will accept. However, I would like it on one condition that that I can see David.
She stops again, pausing. Agreed, but not today. Not tonight. Tomorrow, after the memorial ceremony.
Of course.
After that, then we'll have that conversation. Then I can let you know what has.
Agreed.
So you accepted?
I accept.
Wonderful. This is for you. You see her move her hands from behind her back and placing with a soft thud next to her is now a quarterstaff decorated in ribbons, looking very well made. This was a gift from me from Captain Nor. I'm sure you know him. He's from the
Yes.
Ashes. He calls it the thwack staff.
This is beautifully made and decorated. It's weighted well. It's
It's
a
named.
prize.
I don't use staffs, unfortunately, so I never
Sure.
use it. Also, I would be caught that before I use something called the thwack staff.
I will honor.
Thus, this is now yours. Use it well. Use it as a badge to your station. I can get to a
He's
third person
alive.
now.
Oh, maybe. Processing.
Processing,
going.
processing. Yep. No worries.
Okay.
But yes. You find the abilities for it to be to your liking. It is. I don't know how he managed it, but it is a matter staff.
Wow. I'm not used to that part of the world, but I'll greatly appreciate it. I'll get to learn it to use it properly.
Wonderful. Spend some time with it. Learn to love it. It is your badge of station, effectively. That's why I need to go visit one person.
Thank you again, Captain.
Thank you, First Mate. As she turns around and walks away, hands still behind her, or once again behind her back, I should say. You look down at the staff, and on top of the ribbons, you see some glistening bits of what you assume to be glitter on the staff itself. It's beautifully made, definitely, as if someone put a lot of time into it. And as you feel this kind of agility the more you hold on to. So if you refresh the page, by the way, McKenna, you'll
Oh.
find the Thwack staff currently in your inventory. And I'll let you
Woohoo.
look at that.
Yeah.
Jade, are you with us right now?
In spirit, if not body.
Oh.
Perfect. Wonderful. Jade, it's been 6 days since the assault on the Ember. David is currently being held in the brig after waking up from being dead. And nobody has been allowed to see him since then. During that time, Calvin has been sticking by one of you. Today is your. As you're up on the on your familiar mast with the bell a few short distance away, Calvin curled up next to you as he kind of grabbed onto you as he started climbing and wouldn't let go. As you are currently about to go to sleep. Can you still hear me okay, Jade? Perfect. And as you begin to close your eyes with the night sky above you, you hear a voice off to the side. Terry, are you awake? You know this voice to be Captain Brands.
I suppose.
I see the child's with you as well. You look over and you see her kind of with her chest above the outside railing of the crow's, kind of grabbing onto the edge. May I come in?
Of course. It's your ship.
Wonderful. And she steps in, and she stands there with her hands behind her back, looking down on you. As I'm not sure if you sat up or if you're still laying down on your bedroll.
What's up?
Okay. She looks at you. Miss Terry, yes. As you know, it's been a couple of hard days that we've had. I'm checking in to see how you're doing.
Oh, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
I think we all are. But I'm also here to give you something. It occurs to me I haven't given you and the rest of your group rewards for the tasks you did for me in investigating the light iron, where we found out about these creatures. I mean to rectify that. Of course, I already gave one person their such reward. The other person is unfortunately indisposed due to circumstances you're too familiar with.
Probably best we figure out what's going on with that before giving him more stuff, huh?
That would be correct. As such, I brought this. You see her pull out a roll of something from behind her. This is for you. And is one of the last few things I personally. I want you to take it, Terry.
Sounds like a very personal item. Are you sure you want me to have it?
Yes. While it may be personal, it's just a jacket. But you'll find more use to it than I will. And unfortunately, with times as they are, I'm running out of things to give. She kind of unfolds. She unfolds the jacket, and you see this, what you assume to be green tinted jacket that looks almost like the one she's wearing right now. However, like I said, it's green, and on the inside, you think you see constellation played out in the fabric inside the actual jacket.
I
I'm
graciously accept.
wonderful. I would have given to you regardless. Here you are. She hands you the jackets, and the minute you feel the fabric, you feel the magical energy. It's not strong, but there is stuff there. I'm wearing something similar, and maybe a better version of it. That was the one I wore when I was a. Unfortunately, has outgrown me in more ways than one. So it's not yours, Terry. Use it. You're gonna need it to help out one of your friends in the future.
Thank you, Captain.
Anytime. It's called the Seafarer's Jacket. Use it well. You know, I must make my leave, or else I'll wake the small Calvin. Right?
Yes. Even the hobgoblin.
Yes. Make sure you keep him safe. I will endeavor to do the same.
Yes, sir.
Have a good night, Terry.
To Captain.
As she steps out of the crow's nest and goes down, what do you do with the jacket?
I'm gonna put it on.
All right. If you refresh your inventory, it is in there. And you'll have all the information what it does in the. And as you look at the jacket and look at the constellation, you don't really recognize any of them. Uh, but it looks really nice, and it feels like it's a good material. And you can see what type of material it is because there is night when you look at it. And as you look at it, you do feel Calvin kind of curl up closer next to you, just enjoying it. So we'll come back to you in a little bit. Nephra. Nephra, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you now? It is currently late at night. Are you in bed?
Yes.
5.
I'm sitting on the bed cross-legged.
Mm-hmm.
The glaive is there next to me. I'm casting Detect Magic on the item that Quillith just gave me to help me sleep.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic on the actual item. The item itself glows very faintly. For a minute there, you assume that if there's any magic in there, it's very weak. That the magic itself is very weak inside this, but it's there. It's a white color, so you can't really discern what type of magic it is.
I will hesitantly put it under my pillow then. And Nephra will attempt to get some proper sleep.
All right. It takes you a while to get to sleep, but you're used to that. Usually happens. But eventually, finally, sleep takes you. As you close your eyes, there's a moment of nothing. As unconsciousness finally seeps in and you reach the stages of sleep that you're required to drink, you find yourself on the pew again, similar as last time. There's something different this time. The monastery itself is empty. And you sit there as you are usually now, wearing the garb you usually wear. But the glaive is no longer around. And as you look around, you realize you can. You look down at your hands and you realize you're looking at your hands. You move your fingers, you're moving your fingers. It's not like the last few times where you just follow the track or you just reenacted scenes of your past. You're currently in control of this dream that you're having. As you figure that out, you do hear a voice behind you. Boy.
I turn around.
Turn around, you see about 10 pews behind you, towards the end of the monastery. A very familiar cloaked figure. The hole where the face should be, an endless abyss of nothing, sitting there. Almost looking ordinary except for the usual dread that you feel every time you look at him. The uncanny just visage of him, several feet away. What are you doing, boy?
Contract. You did. I didn't sign any contract.
The figure sits there, not saying anything.
And I've spent a long time afraid of you. But this is a dream. You can't hurt me here. Can you?
The creature sits there, several feet away, several pews away. What would you do if I told you I could? What would you do if this one told you it would be able to rend your soul into nothing?
Trauma, bitch.
The glaive is for sure gone, right? You
Yes,
know it.
you do not see it at all.
Nephra is shaking and he's blinking rapidly. Every time he blinks, his eyes change color. And he reaches his hand up, it's shaking like crazy, and he's gonna reach it into sort of in underneath his robes. Is the mace there?
No. You're currently without any of your effects.
How long do you expect me to keep doing this?
Until the world as you know it is rectified.
But why him? Why did he have to be one of the ones? I couldn't do it. I hesitated. I don't know that I'm strong enough to. I don't want to do. What do you want me to do? I can't do it anymore. It hurts too much.
The creature sits there. You must do what you were told to do. You must complete the task you were given. You must do this so that no other things like this may happen. Do you understand, boy?
Why me? Why me out of everyone? I killed our son to get away from this. Why do you still follow me?
Because the reason you still live, boy, is because of this one. You see him get up at that point, start coming towards you. He goes through each pew slowly, as if his body just materializes over it and then through, resuming its walk as if they weren't even. He stops one pew away from you. Because if this one did not intervene, you would be gone.
What are you talking about? Are you suggesting that you saved me? What are you talking about?
When this one came for those you named your. This one was meant to get all three. Boy, your parents had this affliction. One that I know you know. See, every time it says I, its form kind of shimmers and stops talking for a little bit. At the time, this one needed an arbiter, one to carry out this one's will on the land itself. It was only a matter of convenience one found you. You who still had a chance.
This affliction, is it? Is it anything to do with the violet catalyst? Is it something else entirely? Is it curable?
The creature looks down, or at the very least motions his head down. This one does not know this violet catalyst, as that affliction has not existed until now. But this one does know of the disease that took your parents. This one knows the reason why your home was burned down. This one knows that you are currently afflicted as well. That this one is the one to stop.
Everything has to have a cure. Everything. There has to be some answer. I don't want to just accept the inevitable.
This one does not know if the chances are now low, thanks to the grand event that happened several months ago in your time. All this one knows is that until said cure is found, you, boy, can never be free of me. For the moment this one leaves, you will perish.
Maybe rules are meant to be broken. Maybe we'll learn if that's true someday.
Until then,
But what do I do with him? I don't want to kill David. I want him to live. I don't. What do I do?
this one does not understand what you refer to as emotion. But the more time this one spends with you, the more this one comes to find different things make sense. This one does not know what it means to sympathize with others, but this one does understand now companionship. This one understands why you, boy, will not take the undead's life. But you must. You will. It is inevitable. To delay it endangers all of.
What if I take my life instead?
Then you die. And the world continues on.
You make it sound so optimistic.
Do not squander what this one has done to maintain you, boy. When you are stronger, when you are able to find the cure, then you can rid yourself of it. Until then, you see him reach out a hand, this black emptiness that is his hand out, and you see him jolted down in the brief blast of force next to you that you can feel, that feels so real despite it being a dream. You see the glaive rematerial in his hand.
Full charge.
You see him move it towards you. Until then, boy, you must become stronger. And to become stronger, you must name the tool.
You killed my parents. You destroyed my home. You took away everything I had. Everything that could have been mistaken for a happy and healthy life. You took all of that away. I have nothing left to lose.
You have one thing to lose. The one you feel the need to protect above all. That is the last thing you have to. Name the tool. Insults would not be tolerated.
You said name the tool. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes. Boy, I understand.
What is the tool here? Is it the glaive? Is it me?
If the tool were you, boy, then by taking the name that chosen, you would have already garnered its power. No. The real tool is the one I gave you that day. You see, as it says I again, the form shifts ever so slightly. One more time. Name the tool.
I take the glaive from him, if you will allow it.
When you reach for it, his hand opens up and allows it to slide off into your.
This is this is Felix. I'm Phonaria. If you can still find me, there's no point in hiding. I'm Phonaria. This is Felix.
The boy has named the tool. This I will give you its blessing and send you on your way. And as he reaches down towards you, the hand kind of goes over. It starts to expand more and more. But before the darkness envelops you once more, you swear you saw a familiar woman standing at the opening of the monastery, looking over. While her face wasn't seen and while her features weren't able to be discerned, it was a very familiar silhouette, one that you spent quite a lot of time looking back in your youth.
Lady Bassett.
And then darkness takes you. Next day, the ceremony is underway. Or at least beginning to. As people walk around the open that's recently fixed, Terry, Petrichor, and Nephra, you all find your way to the deck. Each one with something new in their possession. And as you approach, you do see strangers on the deck itself. You all recognize at least one person. Uh, looks to be one of the sailors from the Ash that came last time. It's regular half-orc man who had helped some of the passengers who were traded onto the Ember get off the boat. Along with him and 3 other sailors, you see a woman in green garb with a what looks to be a fur sash going back around her arms and back. She has long blonde hair, tan skin, and strange yellow eyes you can't seem to get a good look at from that far away. Close by, you do see as well a man of sorts. Now, Marshall, did you put on the hat again?
Yeah.
All right, with the black brim hat, and well, the rest. Let me have him. Marshall, would be so kind to explain what your character.
Yeah. So, he appears to have kind of this kind of semi-largely brimmed black hat, black longish hair, kind of put up into a ponytail. Wears a kind of a well, actually right now he's got a kind of, I think it was gold kind of colored breastplate.
Silver.
No, silver.
Or, well, silver tinted. It's actually just metal.
Whatever. And breastplate kind of with this semi-ornate design on it. Kind of covered by like a more grayish kind of, I guess kind of coat. Like a kind of just like a, it's like an open jacket. And also similarly dark pants and boots.
Is there anything else?
Just I guess still some like I guess like like more normally palish skin.
Are you wearing the thing we discussed?
Yeah. So
Ooh.
that part. So he kind of keeps he has a discreet or I guess it's kind of a large I guess you could say almost kind of like a bandana, kind of like it's kind of shaped like a balaclava would be over his face.
And as you see these figures from the ashes come on board, being helped, you see Tamith there. She's a little bit more composed now, but you can still. The awkwardness seems to be in 150% effect today. As you. Petrichor. You hear a voice next to you. Same voice you heard last night. Petrichor. Turn around, sure enough, it's the captain. Are you on mute? Oh, we can't hear you. I can't hear you at the very least.
I can't either.
Regardless, the captain says, Petrichor, get Nephra and Terry and keep them close to you. You will be standing next to me during the ceremony. Quick. I will go greet the Surgeon of the Ashes and her envoy. Captain Orr couldn't make it, so he sent an officer to do the job. Still can't hear you, but I'm gonna say I think you said okay, Captain. So with that said, she goes off and greets the people, or comes to greet you. Marshall,
Yes.
you see a masked woman approach you.
Mm-hmm.
Red jacket over her body, long hair, tied today. Ooh, I can hear my voice.
I hear a cat.
Yep, progress. Wait, you see long hair, kind of tied in a ponytail today.
Hello.
Yep,
Hello.
we can hear you.
Okay, good.
She comes up to the woman who you now know as me, the Surgeon of the Ashes.
What was that again?
She comes up to the woman you
What was
know
the
as
name again?
Mine. It's in
Mine.
there. Yep. MI'Ne.
Okay.
Also, you're still a bit damp.
It's feeding time.
I see. But she
What does
comes
it
up.
mean? Result to me in the well.
All right. Dr. Mine. Pleasure to have you on the Ember. So you bring an envoy here, and she looks at you and stops for a brief second. There's a moment of just stillness as you assume this masked lady is just looking you over, and then looks away, as if nothing was wrong. Please, let Captain Orr know that we appreciate the gesture. You're welcome to stay for the ceremony. You see the woman? Of course. We of the Ashes feel the loss, first mate. Yes, Captain Orr especially feels the loss of a dear friend. Thank you. The ceremony will begin shortly. Please make yourselves comfortable. As she gives one last look at you, Marshall. I'm referring to Marshall right now as Marshall because name out. Not until he greets everybody. So with that said, the ceremony begins. It takes place on the bow of the ship. Several boxes were put together as a kind of a makeshift stage, so that the captain could talk. She stands there, and it's your general spiel. She goes on about the losses one has at sea, how some are inevitable, but all tragic. She lists off the names of those lost, and within them, you all know Henry Turncott, of course. And you're shocked to find that Dolak, the old dragonborn that was a common figure here on the ship, was caught in the blast as well. Unfortunately, he was not able to save. You also know that the dwarven man who drank seawater out of the also caught in the blast.
Hey.
Thought seawater could help his condition. It did not.
No, do not.
F.
Also perished.
Laugh if you want. Now we know.
Hmm.
All right, that man contributed to science.
He did.
F.
A name she omits out, of course, is that of David Crooks. Now she continues on. you reach the point of the presentation, or the point in the speech where she says, "Now, as you all know, we must have a first. Silent was a wonderful and dear part of this ship, and we do not hope to replace him.
Over here's his replacement.
But unfortunately, in order to preserve order here on the ship, we must need a new officer. With that said, with my power as a captain, I've appointed Petrichor as our new first mate here, with Nephra Frox and Miss Terry Eas acting as her apprentices. Marshall, you now know who the first mate. And you realize a lot of things are now coming to fruition that you were told.
Mm-hmm.
And Petrichor, Nephra, Terry, you all see out in the crowd, the minute Petrichor is announced as the first, you actually see a couple of smiles here and there. Some happiness, some relief. And of course, there's still some that are downcast, as you would, is basically the funeral. But the hint of hope is now showcased here. And above, the dark clouds do make the entire environment kind of obscure. And it is kind of darker than most days. And it looks like it might rain.
For rain.
But regardless, she munches you all, and then there are some polite clapter as people congratulate the new first mate and her position. Now, please, first mate, if you could join the crowd.
Join the crowd, or what did you say? Sorry.
If you could please rejoin the crowd.
Yeah.
You sit down. Some people give you congratulatory pats on the and whatnot. You do find yourself towards the outside of the with Nephra and Terry closely ahead. You're back with a few space, or you're back not too far away from the railing, but there's nobody behind. And Brand continues her speech, committing those who perish to the sea. As you see several jars of dust, what you all know to be ashes, as the bodies were burned discreetly, or what was left of some of them.
You were all
taken to the
dogs.
Taking the bow. And Terry, you know at this point, your instructions were to go back up to the crow's nest to ring the bell. Once they were
And
committed.
you.
So as Terry detaches herself, Nifra, you see Nina on the other side of the crowd, kind of tearing up, just looking downcast. Quillith is next to her. And then you see Quillith look over at you, nod her head, look down at Nina, look back at you, look down at Nina, and look back at you. And do it a little bit quicker, and quicker, and nudge her head, and nudge her a little bit more. Roll her eyes, nudge her head a little bit more.
Nephra gives kind of this a shrug, like he chuckles a little bit, and then he gives kind of like this half-hearted shrug with a hand wave of like, it's kind of complicated.
You see her with one hand behind Nina so she can't see.
Phew.
Nefer's gonna like slowly inch his way over, just as awkwardly as possible, trying to be quiet about it.
Oops,
Patrick,
sorry.
you
Excuse me. Oops.
now find yourself at the outskirts of the group alone.
Okay.
I've been keeping an eye on Petrichor.
Okay. And you do see now that her two apprentices have gone away, and she's kind of out to the outskirts of the group as the captain goes on and on about the speech, or about the dead. And the reason why you're all... And you realize, man, that woman has a lot said. A lot of things are now coming true.
I'm going to attempt to kind of sneak my way into an opportune position, if you will.
Go for it. Make a stealth check.
All right, cool. That's 25.
And ooh.
You reappear wherever you want to be.
Goddamn Naruto.
18. Rolled an 18. Hell yeah.
I can't do math, but that's pretty high.
That's pretty good. But yes, you wherever you want to be, you can be.
Well, essentially, I'm positioning myself in a position
You
where
can be
I would know that she
wherever
would
you
be
want to be.
when this is over.
Okay. The ceremony is fast approaching the ending as the captain goes over to the jar and then turns ceremoniously towards the railing of the ship at the bow, or next to the bow, and then pours out the ashes into the ocean. And you continue this with all 7 of the jars, one of which had very few remains. That was the one for Henry. Marshall, you yourself do not know why that one had very low remains. You
It's like, huh? Must be someone small.
Weird.
I don't know. I
Peculiar.
just assume these things. I have bigger things on my mind.
With that said, Brandon turns around. You may all return to your duties.
You're an
Once
Ayers.
once the
Terry.
bell has rang. And she looks up, looking at you, Terry.
Nod and begin my I can't say the word. Melodic. I ring the
Melodious?
bell.
Your melodious bell ringing.
Yes. Thank you.
More like somber
Stranger.
bell reading.
Start playing taps on the bell.
That's the sad times.
That's what
All
taps
right.
is.
Make me a performance check and add your proficiency bonus to it, please.
She like pounds her feet on the board so you can hear it, so it sounds like the bump bump.
Oh, that's loud.
All right.
When I said performance check, I didn't mean actually, but thank you.
You know I go the extra mile.
I know, and I love you for it.
Yeah, 17.
17?
Wait,
The
no,
bell-
at my proficiency, you said?
Yes.
Only with the bell.
That is my proficiency. Yeah, there.
It should be a
19.
plus- Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. The
Still +2.
chimes. Yeah, chimes ring beautifully in this downcast day.
Every night in my dream.
As people start to disperse, all in all, the surgeon of the ashes starts walking towards the captain to exchange more words. Calvin is following after Nephra.
It's chosen you today.
As Nephra, you start to approach Nina.
But you're approaching me.
Terry, you're up in the crow's nest looking down. And Petrichor, are you still standing there just looking out, or
Well,
She's
everyone
heading.
went back to their duties, or right, yeah, are supposed to, but maybe I'm like slowly waiting for like the crowd to kind of guiding everybody back out in like one direction
Hate that band.
or wherever they gotta go if there's like a horde of people going in one direction. So generally, I'm staying in this little area.
okay? So with that said, all the people start going out. Most of them have already gone underneath the deck, leaving you seemingly almost alone on the actual deck. Nephra, you've been taken away by Quillith before you got to Nina, and she's kind of dragging you down, like, talk to you. You're coming with me.
Uh,
Boy, what lovely weather
Oh.
we're having. Nice day for a funeral.
Stop being obvious, kid.
Probably after I see that the deck's basically empty, I'll try to go find the captain to speak with.
All right. You do see the captain is towards the bow, moving towards with the surgeon. They're having an exchange of words.
Mm-hmm.
You're slowly finding that you're finding yourself alone on the top deck.
I'm like, well, I bet I might as well go see what the quarters, what my quarters look like if they're available. If they're not destroyed. Are they destroyed? Is that the one that got destroyed?
Mostly fixed, but not reliably.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I could spend some time fixing it because I know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go do that, I guess.
All right. You start heading down toward your quarters.
Mhm.
And the room itself is mostly repaired. You see several boards on the top, one or two rays of dim light coming through. Unfortunately, materials are starting to become more and more scarce.
Yeah.
It's
Well, water
kind
really
of-
doesn't bother me.
Anyway,
But a lot of Silent's old effects are still in here.
Mm-hmm. Is there like a chest?
There is.
Okay, I'd like to wrap everything up nicely and put it in the chest.
All right, you begin to do so. Do you close the door or do you keep it open?
Close the door.
All right. Marshall, like I said, you could be wherever you want. Because of
But like I
25
said,
scary.
I was positioning myself where I figured she would be going. That would be the first mate's
So
room.
out of the shadows.
Probably before I get to my room at this point.
Well, it's effectively, you could just flavor it as she gets into the room fully. I'm sitting at like a desk,
Oh God! Good God, man!
my feet up.
Yeah,
Is that how I find you?
Probably like kind of with like the
Yeah,
flipping
yeah,
the
yeah,
coin,
yeah.
like the
Yeah,
feet up
fucking
on
like
the
cowboy
desk,
style.
pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
Is he wearing
well,
Crocs?
well. I've been expecting ya.
Ah. Funerals get
Hello?
such a drab.
Please leave.
Tomorrow.
Unfortunately, I have a duty to uphold. It's of no
And
danger
this is
to
my
you.
duty because this is my room, my sir. So
I
I don't
will
know who
be
you are.
I will be leaving. Oh, I should start with pleasantries.
Please.
Fucking mosquito. It's my face. My name is Percival Bernard.
Got
Just
it.
call me Percival. I, however, I'll stop flipping the coin, kind of stand up. I have one duty that I am begrudgingly, in one way or another, forced to uphold.
Okay. What does this have to do with me?
I have a message for the first mate of the Ember. turns out that is you.
Okay.
I can't tell you if it'll make any sense to you or not. All I know is I was told to say it.
I mean, probably not, because as you just saw, we just, kind of tossed the remains of the recent first mate into the ocean. So might not apply to me, but continue. I will take down notes.
I'll preface it with the idea that the person who sent me this message is aware of that.
Okay.
But otherwise,
Got it.
when the tortoise sails and the skies cry, a reprieve from suffering will soon arrive. Yet be warned, child of the huntress in red. A lone spark would become the source of deadly dread. To survive the great ordeal
There's
to
also.
come, I will copy and paste this for you. Don't worry.
Thank you, I'm like, please.
The copy and
To
paste thing.
survive the great ordeal to come, you must
Okay.
gather the bound soul, the empty heart, and the dragon so young. Only then will you live to see the mundane future the lost desperately need.
He's reading off the scroll that Lil Nas X had at the beginning.
Thank you. I'm surprised you remembered that much.
Some would say it's a
Great.
forced memory
All right. Well,
etched into my mind.
I feel like that's understandable. Whatever reason. Okay. Well, you can let whoever told you to tell
Alright.
me that you did it. You can leave my room now.
Yes, of course. Have a good evening.
As you say that,
Adieu.
Petrichor, you feel a drop of water. And then another.
Ah, God.
And then another.
Oh.
Then another.
Tut tut looks like rain.
As you look up, the camera pans up to the crow's nest, where Terry, you're now being assailed by a bunch of water as a sudden downpour has hit the area around you.
Would like to mention I'm wearing the green cloak or coat, I suppose.
The jacket, which is really warm. This fits you really well. There was a moment where it seemed a bit too big and then just constricted by itself. Magic outfits are amazing.
Does it happen to have a hood, or is it just this picture thing?
It's just a picture thing. But as you stand there, you start hearing shouts below you, Terry. And you see several people. You can't hear them from distance you're high up, and the rain's making it harder, but you do see them shout at each other, kind of point out towards the left of the ship.
Well, from my high vantage point, I would definitely take a look at the left of the ship.
All right. From your high vantage point, you see a little bit of mist flying away from the ship. And the mist, acting a bit erratically, moves over to the side. But then you ignore that as you suddenly see off in the distance this large, obscured thing in the horizon start to become a little bit larger and a little bit larger. As you look on through the rain, you see the strangest thing. It looks like a ship, but the top of it's covered in this ceiling that seems to be made of several different squares all line up to make a dome type of roof over it. You swear looks almost like a tortoise. And that's where we're gonna end the session for today.
Oh no! Please don't let it be a dragon turtle.
Oh God.
Now,
Who's got money? Everybody dump
Take
your
your money.
gold.
Dump my dice.
welcome to the party, Percival.
Percival.
Mhm.
Percival.
We dealt with loss.
We
This
woo.
is loss.
And now we gain.
Yes. And now the shit that Percival had to relay is now maybe come true. We'll see. But yeah, thank you all for joining us for today. A little bit longer, but hey, I just wanted to get to a key moment before letting you all go, as this new object is approaching the Ember in the mist of rain. What will happen next? Will Nephra and Quillith solidify a friendship, or will they just have this strange acquaintanceship?
This
Well,
will they, won't they air hanging about them.
hmm Will Terry disclose the dream that she will have soon off stream that I didn't get to because I wanted to get things through? Find out next time.
What?
Embers by Daybreak.
Bye.
So long.